Imagine standing before a mountain range that has witnessed thousands of years of human history, a place where ancient tribes traveled, where warriors rode across vast landscapes, and where stories passed from generations to generations, continuing to inspire wonder today. Welcome to the Khent Mountain, one of Mongolia's most mysterious and culturally significant regions. The Khenti Mountains are not simply a collection of peaks and valleys. They represent a living connection between Mongolia's past, present, and the future. For centuries, these mountains have occupied a special place in the imagination of Mongolian people. Legends, myths, historical accounts, and spiritual traditions all converge here, creating an atmosphere unlike almost anywhere else on the earth. One reason Khent Mountain attracts so much attention is its connection to Genghis Khan, one of history's most influential figures. Many historians believe that the region played a significant role in his early life. Some even believe that one of the world's greatest unsolved historical mysteries, the location of his tomb, may lie hidden somewhere within these mountains. Yet Kent Mountain is more than a place connected to one individual. It is a landscape that has shaped cultures and preserved traditions. Dense forests, winding rivers, rugged valleys, and remote wilderness have protected countless secrets from the outside world. Even today, many areas remains relatively unexplored compared to the famous historical sites elsewhere. What makes places like Kent Mountain so fascinating is that they remind us how much we still do not know. In an age when satellites map nearly every corner of the earth and information is available instantly, there remain places that continues to resist complete understanding. Kent Mountain is one of those places. Throughout this video, we will explore the geography, history, legends, controversies, and unanswered questions surrounding this remarkable region. We will examine why it remains sacred, why archaeologists are fascinated by it, and why local traditions continue to protect its mysteries. Most importantly, we will discover that the true value of Kent Mountain may not be a hidden treasure or a lost tomb. Instead, its greatest gift may be its ability to inspire the curiosity, respect for the history, and appreciation for the natural world. As we begin this journey, remember that every mystery starts with a question. The Secrets of Kent Mountain continues to invite humanity to ask questions, seek understanding, and remain humble before the vastness of history. To understand the secrets of Kent Mountain, we must first understand its location and geography. The Khenti mountain range stretches across northeastern Mongolia and forms one of the most ecologically and historically important landscapes in the country. Unlike the vast open grasslands that many people associates with the Mongolia, the Khenti region is characterized by the forests, rivers, mountain valleys, and diverse ecosystems. This unique geography has made it a refuge for wildlife and human communities for thousands of years. The mountains serve as the source of several important rivers. Water originating in these highlands supports ecosystems across large regions of Mongolia. Throughout history, access to fresh water would have made the area attractive to the ancient people seeking places to settle or travel through. One remarkable feature of the Khenti region is its relative isolation. Even today, many parts remains difficult to access. Rugged terrain and harsh weather conditions have limited extensive development. As a result, much of the natural environment remains intact. This video has significant consequences for historians and archaeologists. In many parts of the world, the centuries of construction and agriculture have altered ancient landscapes. In the Khent Mountain, however, the terrain often retains characteristics similar to those that existed hundreds of or even thousands of years ago. The region is also recognized for its biodiversity. Forests support wolves, deer, lynx, birds of prey, and numerous other species. These ecosystems forms an important part of Mongolia's natural heritage. Beyond its environmental significance, geography has influenced the region's cultural importance. Mountains often hold spiritual significance across human societies. Their imposing presence inspires awe and encourages people to see them as sacred places. In Mongolia, the Khenti Mountains became deeply connected to traditions, rituals, and historical identity. Protected areas within the region help preserve both natural and cultural resources. Conservation efforts seek to balance tourism, scientific research, and environmental protection. Understanding the geography of Khent Mountain helps explain why so many mysteries remain hidden there. Dense forests can conceal archaeological sites, remote valleys may preserve ancient artifacts. Limited accessibility has protected the landscape from extensive disturbances. In many ways, geography acts as a guardian of history. The natural features that make Kent Mountain beautiful also helps preserve its secrets. This combination of ecological richness and historical significance makes the region one of the most remarkable landscapes in the Asia. The mountains remind us that the nature and history are often deeply connected. By protecting the environment, we also protect the histories and knowledge that remains hidden within it. Few individuals have shaped the world history as profoundly as Genghis Khan, founder of the Mongol Empire. He transformed scattered tribes into a force that would create the largest contiguous empire in the human history. Yet, despite his global impact, many details of his early life remains uncertain. The Khenti region occupies a central place in traditions surrounding Genghis Khan's origins. Many historians associate this landscape with his childhood and formative years. According to the historical accounts and local traditions, the environment of northeastern Mongolia played a crucial role in shaping his character, survival skills, and leadership abilities. Imagine growing up surrounded by the mountains, forests, rivers, and vast open spaces. Such an environment demands resilience and adaptability. Hunting, horseback riding, navigation, and survival becomes essential skills. These experiences likely contributed to the qualities that later enabled Genghis Khan to unite diverse tribes and lead successful military campaigns. The region's importance extends beyond practical considerations. For many Mongolians, the Khent Mountain symbolizes national heritage. It serves as a reminder of a period when local tribes achieved extraordinary influences across Eurasia. historical records from the era are limited, making it difficult to verify every tradition associated with the Genghis Khan. Nevertheless, the connection between the Khenti region and his legacy remains powerful. Cultural memory often preserves important truths even when precise details are uncertain. Many locations within the broader Khenti region are associated with the stories about his life. Rivers, valleys, and mountains are linked to the events described in historical chronicles and oral traditions. These stories contribute to the region's sacred status. What makes this connection particularly fascinating is the blend of history and mythology. Over centuries, factual events became intertwined with symbolic narratives. Heroes became larger than the life. Landscapes acquired deeper meaning. Communities preserve stories that reinforce shared identity. Modern researchers continue studying archaeological evidences, historical texts, and local traditions to better understand the relationship between Genghis Khan and the Khenti Mountains. New discoveries may eventually provide additional insights. Regardless of future findings, the association between Genghis Khan and Khent Mountain has already shaped the region's significance. Millions of people around the world recognize his name, and many are drawn to the possibility that these mountains witnessed the early chapters of one of history's most extraordinary life. The story reminds us that the great leaders often emerge from humble beginnings. A remote mountain region became connected to the events that transformed the continents. In this way, the Khent Mountain illustrates how local history can have global consequences. Among all the mysteries connected to the Khent Mountain, none captures the imagination more than the question, where is Genghis Khan buried? More than 800 years after his death, the final resting place of one of history's most influential leaders remains unknown. Historians, archaeologists, explorers, and treasure hunters have searched for the clues, yet no verified tomb has ever been discovered. According to the historical accounts, Genghis Khan died in 1227 during a military campaign. What happened afterward became one of the greatest mysteries in the world history. Several legends emerged regarding his burial. One story claims that his funeral procession deliberately concealed the burial location. Another suggests that the soldiers killed anyone who witnessed the procession to ensure secrecy. Some legends even claim that the horses were ridden repeatedly across the burial site to erase all visible traces. While these stories may contain elements of exaggeration, they reveal something important. Those responsible for the burial intended to keep the location hidden. Why would they do this? One explanation is respected. Ancient Mongolian traditions often emphasized sacredness and privacy in the burial practices. Protecting the tomb may have been viewed as honoring the ruler's wishes. Another possibility involves security. The Mongol Empire controlled enormous wealth. A hidden burial location would protect valuable artifacts from the grave robbers. The Khenti Mountains frequently appears in the theories about the tomb's location. Historians note that Genghis Khan reportedly held deep affection for the region. Some accounts suggested he wished to be buried in his homeland. The landscape itself contributed to the mystery. Dense forests, rugged valleys, and remote terrain create countless locations where a burial site could remain hidden. Modern technology has expanded the search. Researchers have used satellite imagery, aerial surveys, and remote sensing technologies to identify possible archaeological sites. Yet, despite these advances, no confirmed tomb has emerged. Some scholars believe that the tomb may still be waiting to be discovered. Others argue it may never be found because natural processes and centuries of change have erased crucial evidences. Interestingly, many Mongolians feel that the mystery itself has value. For them, the unknown location preserves dignity and sacredness. The absence of a tomb prevents commercialization and allows the legacy to remain focused on the history rather than tourism. The debate continues today. Should researchers intensify the search or should the mystery remain untouched? Regardless of the answer, the hidden tomb mystery remains one of humanity's most fascinating unsolved historical questions. It reminds us that even in the modern age, some secrets continue to resist the discovery. Perhaps that uncertainty is part of what makes Kent Mountain so captivating. Long before written history documented events in the Mongolia, people living near the Khent Mountain viewed the landscape as sacred. Across many cultures, mountains have served as symbols of connection between earth and the sky. Their immense size inspires awe, while their isolation encourages reflection. The Khenti Mountains became one of Mongolia's most respected spiritual regions. Ancient Mongolian spiritual traditions often emphasized harmony between humans and the nature. Rivers, forests, mountains, and animals were not seen merely as resources but as important parts of a larger living world. Within these beliefs, mountains frequently served as places where spiritual forces were believed to reside. Ceremonies and rituals expressed gratitude for nature's gift and sought balance between the people and the environment. The Khenti region became associated with these traditions for centuries. One reason sacred landscapes are important is that they help communities maintain respect for their surroundings. When a place is considered spiritually significant, people often take greater care to protect it. This respect contributed to the preservation of the Khenti Mountains, while other regions experienced extensive development or environmental degradation. Many parts of Khent Mountain remained relatively untouched. Ancient ceremonies often involved offerings, prayers, and gatherings intended to honor natural forces. These practices reinforced social cohesion and cultural identity. Today, elements of these traditions continue to survive. Modern Mongolia combines contemporary life with respect for historical customs. Sacred sites remain important to many communities. Understanding these beliefs helps explain why certain archaeological sites or landscapes are approached cautiously. Researchers must balance scientific curiosity with cultural sensitivity. The spiritual significance of Khent Mountain also influences discussions about exploration. Some people support extensive archaeological investigations, while others emphasize preservation and respect. These differing perspectives are not necessarily incompatible. Both recognize the importance of the region. The challenge lies in finding approaches that honor cultural heritage while expanding knowledge. Beyond religious or spiritual interpretations, sacred landscapes offer valuable lessons. They remind us that the previous generations often viewed nature differently than modern societies. Rather than seeing the mountains solely as physical objects, they understood them as places of meaning. In today's world, where environmental challenges affected the communities globally, these lessons remain relevant. Respect for the nature can inspire conservation. Appreciation for cultural traditions can strengthen the identity. Khent Mountain demonstrates how the landscapes can become more than geographical features. They can become symbols, teachers, and sources of inspiration. Whether viewed through historical, spiritual, or environmental perspectives, the sacred character of Khent Mountain continues to shape its importance. Its greatest power may not lie in the hidden artifacts or ancient mysteries, but in its ability to connect people with something larger than themselves. When archaeologists looked at the Khent Mountain, they see more than the forests and the valleys. They see a landscape that may contain centuries of undiscovered history. Throughout human civilization, remote Pekin regions have often preserved archaeological evidences that escaped destruction. The Khenti Mountains possess many characteristics that make them particularly promising for future discoveries. First, the area has been inhabited and traveled through for thousands of years. Ancient tribes, hunters, herders, traders, and leaders moved across these lands. Where people live, evidence usually remains. Artifacts, tools, campsites, burial sites, and ceremonial locations often survive beneath the soil long after civilizations get disappeared. Second, the region's relative isolation has helped preserve archaeological remains. In many parts of the world, urban growth, agriculture, and infrastructure development have disturbed ancient sites. Kent Mountain's remoteness has protected large areas from such impacts. Researchers have already identified archaeological sites throughout Mongolia, including burial mounds, stone monuments, and ancient settlements. Many experts believe that additional discoveries await in the Khenti region. Some archaeologists focus on understanding the daily life. What did the people eat? How did they travel? What technologies did they use? Others investigate political and military history. Could evidence connected to the Mongol Empire remain hidden in the remote valleys? The possibility of finding artifacts related to the Genghis Khan attracts particular attention. Even small discoveries could provide valuable information about one of history's most influential periods. Modern archaeological methods have transformed the exploration. Instead of relying solely on excavation, researchers use satellite imagery, aerial photography, drone surveys, and geophysical scanning technologies. These tools help identify promising locations while minimizing disturbances. However, archaeological work involves challenges. Harsh weather, difficult terrain, limited access, and conservation concerns can slow research efforts. Additionally, archaeologists must carefully balance the scientific goals with cultural values. Communities often have a strong emotional and spiritual connections to historical sites. Responsible archaeology seeks to preserve heritage while expanding the knowledge. One of the most exciting aspects of archaeology is unpredictability. Researchers may spend years investigating one theory only to make an unexpected discovery elsewhere. History frequently surprises us. A small artifact can reshape understanding of entire civilizations. A newly discovered site can answer questions that historians debated for generations. Khent Mountain remains one of those places where surprises may still await. Future discoveries could reveal information about ancient migration patterns, early communities, spiritual traditions, or even significant historical figures. Yet perhaps the most important lesson is patience. Not every mystery needs immediate answers. Archaeology is a gradual process built on careful observation, evidence, and respect. The hidden treasures of King Mountain may eventually emerge, but they will reveal themselves only through thoughtful exploration. Until then, the region continues to inspire curiosity and remind us that humanity's story is far from fully written. When most people hear about the Khent Mountains, they immediately think of history, ancient empires, and mysteries connected to the Genghis Khan. Yet one of the greatest secrets of the region is not hidden beneath the ground. It is alive and moving through its forests, rivers, and the valleys every day. The Khent Mountains are among Mongolia's most important ecological regions. Unlike the vast open steppes that dominate much of the country, this mountain range contains dense forest, alpine meadows, wetlands, and river systems that support remarkable biodiversity. The region serves as a refuge for numerous animal species. Wolves roam through the forest, maintaining balance within the ecosystem. Deer move quietly through wooded valleys. Linnets, one of the most elusive predators in the Central Asia, inhabit remote sections of the mountains. Birds of prey soar above the peaks, scanning the landscape below. Each species plays a role in maintaining ecological stability. The wolf, for example, is often misunderstood. Throughout history, wolves have been feared and admired. In Mongolia, they occupy an important place in both folklore and ecology. By controlling herbivore populations, wolves help prevent overgrazing and contribute to the ecosystem health. The forests of the Khent Mountain also provides habitat for smaller mammals, insects, and plant species that may be rare elsewhere. Scientists continue studying the region because many ecological relationships remain poorly understood. One reason biodiversity remains high is the area's relative isolation. Human development has been limited compared to more heavily populated regions. As a result, natural processes continue with relatively little disruption. This preservation offers valuable opportunities for the scientific research. Ecologists can observe ecosystems that closely resemble those that existed centuries ago. Such informants help scientists understand long-term environmental changes and conservation strategies. Climate change, however, presents new challenges. Rising temperatures, shifting weather patterns, and changes in the precipitation may affect habitats across the region. Researchers increasingly monitor these impacts to understand how species are adapting. Conservation efforts seek to protect both wildlife and the habitat. Protected areas restrict activities that could damage ecosystems while allowing sustainable research and tourism. Wildlife also contributes to the cultural significance of Khent Mountain. Many animals appear in the local stories, traditions, and symbolic representation. They serve as a reminder of humanity's connection to the nature. Perhaps the greatest lesson offered by the Kent Mountains wildlife is interdependence. Every species contributes to the broader ecological community. Removing one element can affect many others. This principle applies beyond the nature. Human societies also depend on cooperation, balance, and mutual support. The forests and animals of Kent Mountain demonstrates that strength often comes from diversity. Different species each with unique roles, create a resilient ecosystem capable of surviving challenges over the time. As we admire the historical mysteries of the region, we should also appreciate the living treasures that continue to thrive there today. Protecting these ecosystems ensures that future generations can experience the same wonder that has inspired people for centuries. Long before books, websites, and documentaries existed, people preserved knowledge through stories. For centuries, the people living near Khent Mountains shared legends from one generation to the next. These stories became a bridge connecting the past with the present. Oral traditions have played a vital role in the human history. They preserve memories, teach values, explain natural phenomena, and strengthen the cultural identity. Khent Mountain is rich with such traditions. Many stories describe heroic figures traveling through the region. Others tell of sacred places hidden among the mountains. Some legends speaks of spirits, guardians, or supernatural events associated with particular locations. To modern audiences, these stories may seem purely mythical. However, oral traditions often contains valuable historical information hidden beneath the symbolic language. A legend about a journey may preserve memories of migration routes. A story about a sacred site may indicate the location of ancient ceremonies. Tales of great leaders may preserve genuine historical events that were later embellished throughout the storytelling. This combination of fact and symbolism make oral traditions fascinating to the historians. Researchers frequently compare local legends with archaeological evidences and historical records. In some cases, the stories passed down for centuries have led to significant discoveries. The Khenti region's connection to Genghis Khan provides a good example. Numerous traditions describe places associated with this life and achievements. While not every detail can be verified, these stories help preserve cultural memories. Legends also serve psychological and social functions. They inspire courage, promote cooperation, and reinforce community values. A story about a wise leader may encourage good leadership. A tale about respecting nature may support environmental stewardship. In this way, the legends become more than entertainment, they become tools for education and cultural continuity. One reason Kent Mountain remains mysterious is that many traditions continue to exist alongside scientific inquiry. Archaeologists seek evidence, historians analyze the documents, local communities preserve the stories. Each approach offers valuable perspectives. Rather than viewing the legends and science as competitors, we can see them as complementary ways of understanding the world. The stories provide meaning, evidence provides verification. Together, they create a richer understanding of history. The preservation of oral traditions also highlights the importance of cultural diversity. Every community possesses unique knowledge developed over the generations. When traditions disappear, valuable insights may be lost forever. For this reason, documenting and respecting the local stories remains an important part of cultural preservation. The legends of Kent Mountain reminds us that history is not only found in the monuments and artifacts, it also lives in the memory, language, and the storytelling. As long as the people continue sharing these stories, the spirit of the mountains will endure. And perhaps some of the region's greatest secrets are preserved not beneath the ground, but within the stories that continue to be told today. One question naturally arises when discussing the mysteries of Khent Mountain. Why haven't all of its secrets already been discovered? The answer lies in the region's geography, climate, ecology, and cultural significance. Khent Mountain is not easily accessible. Large portions of the landscape consist of rugged terrain, dense forests, steep valleys, and remote wilderness. Unlike famous archaeological sites located near cities or transportation networks, many areas within the Khenti Mountains require significant effort to reach. For centuries, this isolation acted as a natural barrier protecting the region. Harsh weather conditions add another challenge. Mongolia experiences dramatic seasonal variations. Winters can be extremely cold, while weather conditions in mountainous areas may change rapidly. Researchers often have limited windows during which fieldwork can be conducted safely and effectively. The dense forest present additional difficulties. From above, tree cover can conceal archaeological features, ancient structures, burial sites, and artifacts may remain hidden beneath the vegetation. Even modern technologies such as satellite imaging and aerial photography face these limitations in heavily forested environments. Environmental protection is another important factor. Many areas within the Khenti region are protected because of their ecological and cultural significance. Conservation policies restrict certain activities to prevent the damage to the ecosystems and heritage sites. While these protections may slow exploration, they serve an important purpose. Preserving landscapes ensures that future generations can continue studying and appreciating them. Cultural considerations also influences access. Some locations are regarded as sacred by local communities. Researchers must work respectfully and collaboratively when investigating such sites. Balancing scientific curiosity with cultural sensitivity requires careful planning and the dialogue. The challenge of exploration is not unique to the Kent Mountain. Throughout history, many important discoveries occurred only after years or even decades of patient investigation. What makes Kent Mountain special is that it combines multiple layers of complexity, natural barriers, historical significance, spiritual traditions, and environmental concerns all intersect. Modern technology has improved exploration capabilities. Drones can survey remote terrain, ground penetrating radar can identify subsurface features, geographic information systems allow researchers to analyze landscapes in the new ways, yet technology cannot eliminate every obstacle. Some mysteries require patience. In fact, the difficulty of exploration contributes to the region's appeal. People are naturally drawn to the places that remain partly unknown. If every secret were immediately revealed, much of the fascination would disappear. The challenges facing researchers also highlight the value of perseverance. Scientific progress often occurs gradually. Small discoveries accumulate over time, eventually producing major breakthroughs. Instead, it rewards those who approach with curiosity, preparation, and care. Perhaps this is one reason the region continues to inspire wonder. Its mysteries remain alive because the mountains themselves continue to protect them. And in an increasingly connected world, places that retain a sense of mystery are becoming increasingly rare. For centuries, the secrets of Kent Mountain remained protected by geography, isolation, and time. Explorers could only rely on the physical observation, local knowledge, and traditional surveying methods. Today, however, the science has entered a new era. Modern technologies are giving researchers unprecedented tools to investigate landscapes while preserving their natural and cultural integrity. One of the most important innovation is satellite imagery. High-resolution satellites orbiting the Earth can capture detailed images of remote regions that would otherwise be difficult to access. Researchers use these images to identify unusual patterns in vegetation, soil coloration, and terrain features that may indicate archaeological sites hidden beneath the surface. In some parts of the world, satellite technology has revealed ancient cities, roads, and settlements that remained undiscovered for centuries. Scientists hope similar approaches may provide insights into the mysteries of the Khent Mountains. Another powerful tool is the use of drones. Unlike satellite, the drones can fly at lower altitudes and capture extremely detailed images of specific areas. They can map landscapes, create three-dimensional models, and identify features that are invisible from the ground. Drone surveys are especially valuable in the regions with rugged terrain. Researchers can study remote valleys and mountain slopes without causing environmental damage. Ground penetrating radar, often called the GPR, offers another remarkable capability. This technology sends electromagnetic signals into the ground and measures how they reflect back. Variations in the reflections can indicate buried structures, graves, walls, or other archaeological features. Geographic Information Systems or GIS combines multiple sources of information into digital maps. Researchers can overlay historical records, environmental data, archaeological discoveries, and topographical information to identify patterns that might otherwise go unnoticed. Artificial intelligence is also beginning to assist archaeological research. Machine learning algorithms can analyze enormous data sets and detect subtle features that humans might miss. A satellite image may suggest a possible structure, but archaeologists must still determine its significance. A radar signal may indicate something underground, but additional investigation is necessary to understand what it presents. The use of technology in the Khent Mountain raises exciting possibilities. Could future discoveries reveal new archaeological sites? Could hidden chapters of Mongolian history emerge from beneath the forests and the valleys? Yet, researchers also recognize the importance of preservation. Scientific curiosity must be balanced with respect for nature and the culture. The true goal of exploration is not simply to uncover secrets, it is to expand understanding while protecting what makes a place special. Kent Mountain reminds us that technology is most powerful when guided by the wisdom, responsibility, and the respect. As new tools continue to evolve, humanity may learn from about this remarkable region than ever before. But regardless of what is discovered, the journey of exploration itself remains one of the greatest achievements of the science. Among all debates surrounding the Kent Mountain, one stands above the rest. Should researchers actively search for the tomb of Genghis Khan? This question has generated discussion among historians, archaeologists, government officials, local communities, and cultural experts for the decades. On one side are those who support continued investigation. They argue that discovering the tomb could represent one of the most important archaeological discoveries in the modern history. Such a discovery could provide valuable insights into Mongolian culture, burial traditions, political structures, and the life of one of history's most influential leaders. Artifacts recovered from the site could transform historical understanding. New evidence might answer questions that scholars have debated for the centuries. Supporters also point out that archaeology has successfully revealed important historical information in many parts of the world. Discoveries such as ancient Egyptian tombs, Roman cities, and lost settlements have significantly expanded knowledge of human civilization. Why should the search for Genghis Khan's tomb be different? On the other side are those who urge caution or oppose the search entirely. Many Mongolians view Genghis Khan not only as historical figure but also as a symbol of national identity. For some, disturbing possible burial site would be disrespectful. Others argue that if the tomb remained hidden for the centuries, perhaps that was intentional. They believe preserving the mystery honors historical traditions. Environmental concerns also play a role. Large-scale excavations could damage fragile ecosystems and cultural landscapes. Researchers must consider whether potential benefits justify possible risk. Another perspective focuses on the value of mystery itself. Not every question requires an immediate answer. Some historians argue that the absence of a confirmed tomb has become part of Genghis Khan's legacy. The mystery continues, inspiring curiosity and the research. Interestingly, both sides share a common goal: respect for the history. Those supporting exploration hope to learn more about the past. Those advocating preservation seek to protect cultural heritage. The disagreement concerns methods rather than the values. Modern archaeology increasingly seeks compromise solutions. Non-invasive technologies allow researchers to investigate sites without extensive excavation. Remote sensing, aerial surveys, and geophysical methods provide information while minimizing the disturbances. Such approaches may help balance scientific inquiry and cultural sensitivity. The controversy surrounding the tomb search highlights broader questions facing archaeology worldwide. How should societies treat ancient sites? Who decides whether exploration should occur? How can researchers respect cultural traditions while advancing the knowledge? There are no simple answers. What Khent Mountain teaches us is that history belongs to everyone, but the stewardship requires responsibility. Whether the tomb is eventually discovered or remains hidden forever, the discussion itself encourages thoughtful reflection about the heritage, identity, and the meaning of respect. In many ways, the debate is as fascinating as the mystery itself. Whenever people discuss ancient mysteries, someone eventually asks, why does this matter? Why spend time studying remote mountains, ancient legends, or historical questions that may never be fully answered? These are reasonable questions. In a world facing economic challenges, environmental concerns, technological change, and social issues, some people wonder whether historical mysteries deserve significant attention. The answer begins with understanding the value of knowledge. Human civilization advances because people ask questions. Every scientific breakthrough, technological innovation, and historical discovery started with the curiosity. The study of places like Khent Mountain is part of that larger tradition. History provides the context. Understanding the past helps societies make better decisions about the future. Ancient cultures faced challenges involving the leadership, resource management, conflict resolution, and environmental adaptation. Their experiences still offer lessons today. Another criticism suggests that legends and mysteries are merely entertainment. While stories can certainly entertain, they also preserve cultural memory. Oral traditions, myths, and historical narratives often contain valuable insights into how communities understood themselves and their world. Preserving these traditions protects cultural diversity. Some critics argue that resources devoted to archaeology could be used elsewhere. However, cultural heritage generates educational, economic, and social benefits. Museums, research institutions, documentaries, and heritage tourism create opportunities for the learning and development. Archaeological discoveries often inspire future generations to pursue education and scientific careers. Others question whether historical mysteries can ever be solved. While not every question receives a definitive answer, the process of investigation remains valuable. Research frequently produces unexpected discoveries. Attempts to answer one question often generate knowledge in entirely different areas. For example, archaeological studies may improve understanding of climate history, migration patterns, technology, or ecology. Even when a mystery remains unsolved, the journey contributes to the human knowledge. Another criticism concerns nationalism or historical glorification. Responsible scholarship avoids idealizing historical figures or the civilizations. Instead, it seeks balanced understanding based on evidence. The goal is not to celebrate blindly but to learn honestly. Kent Mountain provides opportunities for exactly that type of learning. Perhaps the strongest argument for studying historical mysteries is their ability to inspire the wonder. Modern life often moves quickly. People become focused on immediate concerns. Historical exploration encourages a broader perspective. It reminds us that humanity's story spans thousands of years. Countless generations contributed to the world we inherit today. Understanding that a story fosters gratitude and humility. It helps people appreciate achievements, learn from their mistakes, and recognize connections across cultures and the time. The mysteries of Khent Mountain matter because they represent something larger than a single location. They represent humanity's enduring desire to understand its origins. They remind us that curiosity remains one of our greatest strengths, and they demonstrate that some of life's most meaningful discoveries occur not when all answers are found, but when questions continue inspiring the exploration. Every great journey leaves us with the lessons. Sometimes those lessons come from success, sometimes from the failure, and sometimes from simply observing the world around us. Kent Mountain, with its ancient forests, hidden values, sacred traditions, and enduring mysteries, offers lessons that remain relevant even in the modern world. The first lesson is the value of curiosity. Throughout history, humanity has progressed because individuals asked questions. Why do the stars move across the sky? What lies beyond the horizon? How do civilizations rise and fall? The mysteries of Kent Mountain remind us that curiosity is not merely an academic exercise, it is one of the most powerful forces driving human advancement. Without curiosity, exploration would cease, science would stagnate, history would be forgotten. The second lesson is the importance of patience. Many people today expect immediate answers. Technology delivers information within the seconds, yet the greatest mysteries often require years, decades, or even centuries of investigation. The possible location of Genghis Khan's tomb remains unknown despite generations of research. Archaeologists continue studying the region carefully, understanding that meaningful discoveries rarely happens overnight. Khent Mountain teaches that some answers emerge slowly, and that patience itself is a form of wisdom. A third lesson involves respect for the nature. Protecting the ecosystems is not simply about preserving beauty. It is about safeguarding the systems that support the life itself. Kent Mountain demonstrates how cultural values and environmental conservation can reinforce the other. Another important lesson is the value of cultural heritage. The stories, traditions, monuments, and the landscapes associated with the Kent Mountain connect people to the previous generations. They provide identity, continuity, and the meaning. When heritage is preserved, future generations gain opportunities to learn from the past. When heritage is lost, valuable knowledge disappears forever. The mountain also teaches the importance of humility. Despite remarkable scientific achievements, humanity does not know everything. There are still mysteries waiting to be solved. There are still places that challenge our understanding. Recognizing the limits of knowledge is not a weakness, it is a strength. Humility encourages learning and prevents overconfidence. Finally, the Khent Mountain teaches the value of balance. The debate surrounding archaeology, conservation, and cultural heritage demonstrate that complex issues rarely have simple solutions. Wise decisions require thoughtful consideration of multiple perspectives. As we reflect on the lessons of Khent Mountain, we realize that its significance extends far beyond Mongolia. Its story speaks to universal human experiences, wonder, discovery, identity, and the connection. The mountain's greatest lessons are not hidden beneath the ground. They are visible in the way history, nature, and culture interact to create something extraordinary. And those lessons continue to inspire anyone willing to listen. Whenever we learn about ancient civilizations, historical mysteries, or remarkable landscapes, it is easy to focus on the discoveries themselves. Yet behind every discovery stands a community of dedicated individuals whose efforts make knowledge possible. Kent Mountain provides an opportunity to express gratitude to those who preserve, study, and protect humanity's shared heritage. First, we recognize the contributions of historians. Historians spend years analyzing documents, comparing sources, and reconstructing events from fragments of evidence. Their work allows us to understand historical contexts and evaluate competing interpretations. Without historians, much of what we know about Mongolia's past would remain inaccessible. Archaeology requires extraordinary patience and attention to the detail. Researchers often spend months or years studying the landscapes, surveying sites, and carefully documenting the findings. Equally important are local communities and cultural knowledge keepers. Many traditions associated with the Khent Mountains survived because generations of people preserved stories, customs, and cultural practices. Their knowledge provides perspectives that cannot always be found in the written records. Respecting and learning from the local communities strengthens historical research and cultural preservation. Individuals and organizations work tirelessly to safeguard the ecosystems, wildlife, and the cultural sites. Advances in ecology, geology, remote sensing, and environmental science provides valuable insights into the region. We should also appreciate educators, museum professionals, filmmakers, writers, and documentary creators. They help share knowledge with the broader audiences. Without effective communication, discoveries would remain limited to academic circles. Education transforms information into an inspiration. Every civilization contributes to humanity's collective story. The people who lived in and around the Khent Mountains centuries ago could not have imagined modern technology or the global communication networks. Khent Mountains' story belongs not only to Mongolia but to the humanity. The people who preserve and study this remarkable region performed an important service for everyone. Their dedication ensures that the lessons of the past remained available to the future generations. As we learn from the history, it is worth remembering those who made that learning possible. Their contributions deserve recognition, appreciation, and the gratitude. As we reach the end of our journey through the Kent Mountain, we return to the question that inspired this exploration. What is the greatest secret of Kent Mountain? At first glance, the answer might seem obvious. Perhaps it is the possible locations of Genghis Khan's tomb. Perhaps it is an undiscovered archaeological site hidden beneath the forests. Perhaps it is a lost artifact, forgotten settlement, or ancient treasure waiting to be found. Yet, after exploring the region's history, culture, ecology, and mysteries, a different answer begins to emerge. The greatest secret of Kent Mountain may not be something hidden beneath the ground, it may be the power of mystery itself. Mysteries inspire the curiosity, they encourage exploration, they motivate people to learn, question, and seek understanding. Without mysteries, many of humanity's greatest discoveries would never have occurred. The unknown invites investigation. It challenges the assumptions. It expands the knowledge. Kent Mountain demonstrates that not all value comes from certainty. Sometimes uncertainty creates opportunities for the growth. The region also reminds us that discovery is about more than finding the answers. The process of exploration has value in its own right. Researchers learn from every survey. Historians gain insights from every document. Conservationists deepen understanding through every observation. Even major questions remain unresolved. Progress occurs. Another secret of Kent Mountain is its ability to connect different dimensions of human experiences. History meets the nature, science meets the tradition, evidence meets the storytelling, past meets the future. Few places embody these connections to so completely. The mountain teaches that knowledge is the strongest when multiple perspectives are considered together. Perhaps the most profound lesson involves the perspective. Human life are being compared to the time scales of history. Civilizations rise and fall, empires expand and disappear, yet mountains endure. Kent Mountain has witnessed countless generations come and go. Its forests have grown, changed, and regenerated. Its rivers have continued flowing. Its mysteries have survived. This perspective encourages humility. It reminds us that we are part of a much larger story, a story that began long before us and will continue long after us. As we conclude, let us reflect on the gratitude. Gratitude for the explorers who seek the knowledge, gratitude for the communities that preserve the traditions, gratitude for the natural world that continues inspiring wonder, gratitude for the opportunity to learn from the history, and gratitude for the mysteries that remind us there is always more to discover. The future may bring new technologies, new research methods, and perhaps new even new discoveries within the Khent Mountains. Some questions may eventually be answered, others may remain unsolved. Either outcome has value because the true significance of Khent Mountain lies not in a single discovery, but in its enduring ability to inspire the curiosity. Its greatest secret is that it reminds humanity to keep exploring, to keep learning, to keep wondering, and to never stop asking the questions. The mountains may keep their secrets for centuries, but every generation that seeks understanding becomes part of the story. The greatest treasure is not what we find, it is the curiosity that leads us to the search. So, if you enjoyed this journey into the mysteries of Kent Mountain, remember that history is filled with unanswered questions waiting to be explored. Stay curious, keep learning, and continue discovering the extraordinary stories hidden within our world.